was walking one day in the CBD and saw very high heels, 6-inch, and just attracted my eyes. I was with my sister and I told her I need to get that.
Your first audition, you did not have a trainer or a coach. You trained yourself through YouTube.
Yeah.
So most of the pageant don't understand the importance of boot camp, and boot camp educates a lot.
Most times when you go to pageantry outside the country, you're alone. You don't have anyone. You have different people from different places. So you just need that strong character.
Africans don't trust their own.
We just need the country to back us up, from the documents we need, from even the support of voting and all that. So there's so much that the country needs to completely understand.
The pageant was big then,
Yeah.
but something went wrong. Wow, karibuni tena. It's another beautiful day in Africa. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you are. Sash and Style is back, big, better. We just want to educate people on fashion, pageantry, and modeling. Today, I have a great friend, a great model, a teacher, a mathematician. Let me not just finish the introduction, but Cindy, could you kindly let our guests know who you are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you've started on a very high note.
Welcome.
So yeah, my name is Cindy Isendi, and a professional accountant. I'm into finance, working in the non-profit sector at the moment. And yeah, apart from that, I teach mathematics as well. It's just, I love numbers so much.
Wow.
And reason why I'm here, I'm also a ex-pageant queen. I've been modeling for over a decade now. And it's been a long journey since 2014 up to now, starting with bridal shows, high fashion modeling, pageantry, and all that. And I love teaching as well. I think that's what I do in my spare time nowadays.
Great, that's good introduction. Probably just describe yourself to our audience before we jump into pageantry, modeling, and fashion.
Yeah, I think I would just call myself someone passionate, because I tend to do what I love. So, for instance, when it comes to how I got myself into accounting, since my dad was an educationist and he loved results for everything you do. So every first term, I think we used to write what we need to do, or your goal, your aspirations before going to school in our report card. And all through, I've been checking like my past documents, and I wrote accountant all the way from class 6 up to form 4. And once I finished, I just knew I wanted to go into finance and accountancy. So passionate, I take everything with so much passion, and it comes down till the pageantry line and high fashion line. I really knew I want to do that. I want to represent my country in a very beautiful stage. And I think just pursuing it was not an easy thing. I started in 2014, but I think I started doing well maybe in 2018, 2019, thereabouts. So passionate in what I do.
Passionate. I love what you just talked about. That part of you started talking about accountants when you are very young.
Yeah.
This reminds me of when current Miss World is in India to compete and get Kenya into that space. Yeah. She told us she started being called Miss World when she was a very young kid. Wow. And then she got into pageantry. Her first crown was in church, so they started calling her Miss Church.
Oh, lovely.
I think the power of the tongue, the Bible says the power of tongue is very powerful.
Yeah, very,
so
very true.
As we move on, when did you discover, apart from maths, that you have that talent of catwalk or pageantry?
I think in 2013, 2014, thereabouts. So I was walking one day in the CBD and saw very high heels, 6-inch, and just attracted my eyes. I was with my sister and I told her, I need to get that. And I got it. I did not know how to walk or anything, but it was just an amazing skill for me to like learn or think about it. So that's when I think I just actively started trying and practicing and going to YouTube, watching people, attending classes. And I just discovered that's something I really, really like.
Yeah.
So I went to an audition, and then apparently it was a bridal show. And then they chose me. That motivated me so much. I was like, wow, so it's something doable. It's something that any person can do. So I just loved it going forward.
So your first audition, you did not have a trainer or a coach. You trained yourself through YouTube.
Yes.
And you went into a bridal audition.
Yeah.
I think like you said 2013, 2014?
Yes. Yeah, thereabouts.
Which, maybe I may ask, which bridal?
It was the one for Catherine.
Catherine.
Samantha's bridal.
Samantha
show.
bridal.
Yeah.
Which is not just anyone.
It is.
You must have done very well.
Yeah, I remember the audition was at Sarit Center Expo, and there were so many ladies. And I almost gave up. We waited for hours. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But then I passed all stages, and I was calling my sister every time. Gosh, they've called me again. She didn't even believe. I didn't even believe. But we were like, wow, it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened. I need to call Catherine and find out, because that was one of the stepping stones for high fashion in Kenya. I've not heard about it for, I think, the past, after COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you're done and you realize I can actually do it.
Yeah.
Was there a drive that you want to do more and more?
Yes.
What happened after that?
So I think I learned more about what fashion and modeling entails, and I realized the different categories, and then tried to find where I fit in well. So after that, I went to another high fashion called East African Fashion Week, and I think with high fashion, you tend to be more serious on the stage. And you have to put a very serious look. And I was smiling all through. And my coach, called Ingrid at that time, was like, Cindy, you should just go to pageantry. You should just go to pageantry. Because she's asking us not to smile. I'm just all with my face and teeth. And then that's when I knew, okay, now let me learn about the different categories of modeling and I tend to choose pageantry where I thought I fit well. So in 2016, started pageantry, and luckily with the right person, you. So I think I started with Miss Earth Kenya.
Wow. So you did Miss Earth Kenya 2016, 17? How did that go? What was the experience?
It was the most beautiful experience. I loved every bit out of it. I think I went there not expecting that much. So there were auditions in different counties, I suppose. And I came to Nairobi County. I remember we had the auditions in Royal Tulip Hotel in Hurlingham. And it was just so beautiful, meeting so many beautiful ladies to start with the connection, talking and what. And I was very lucky to be among the finalists. But what interested me much more was the activities we were doing in the pageantry, the CSR's activities. It was just so beautiful, because today go pick litter in Nairobi, and you just discovered how much you can help together with a group of people.
Yes, we did an audition in the 4 main towns, 3 main towns, Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu. I think Nairobi was at Royal Tulip. Mombasa was at, what is this hotel called? But Kisumu also was at a beach hotel. We wanted to go flashy. And we do a lot of CSR. I encourage the models to give back to society. The only time I remember the girls were really scared and frightened was during the boot camp. I got some calls during the night. What actually happened at the boot camp?
Was it the one we were in? We were like in the
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost. I think it was a very new experience for most of us, because it was more of camping. It was a very beautiful experience, but new. So we got there, set up our tents, And then unfortunately it started raining. So all of us were panicking, what if water gets to our tent? It was such a new experience. I think that was my first camping. And actually for me, I got very much interested in camping thereafter. So I do a lot of campings and all that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so most of the pageant don't understand the importance of boot camp.
Yeah.
And boot camp educates a lot. Like we done the big hotels for auditions,
Yeah.
and this is Miss Earth. So it was just fair for us to take you guys to a boot camp,
Yeah.
listen to the sounds of the birds in the
Yeah.
morning. And yes, Mother Earth sometimes always takes a position. The rain came, and that's part of environment anyway.
Yeah.
So you've done Miss Environment in the top 10. I think this is one of the only pageants that began, the news on KTN began with the pageant because Standard Media was sponsoring the event.
Yeah.
So you've done Miss Earth, one of the 4 big events. You're a finalist.
Yeah.
And you say you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So already you're saying, let's do the fashion aside, let's do pageantry. So what happened? Did you go for another pageant after that?
Yes. Miss Earth strengthened me, built so much resilience in me. Like the boot camp, you say, we were like, what are we going to do? But pushed in. And yeah, we were stronger the next day. And I love how we were taught everything from etiquette to dressing to getting like a CSR activity that is close to your heart for that. So I was very, very sure that I need to go to another pageant.
Yeah, there's a name that has come up. You've talked about etiquette and all those things to change. Now, you've been doing the training for fashion.
Yeah.
You get a choreographer. His name has appeared in most of me. Is this the first time you're meeting Deborah, or was she your trainer?
Yes.
How was it?
Deborah was our trainer. Deborah is amazing. She also strengthens you as a model. I think that's what we just really need in the boot camp, because we go there not expecting so much, as I said. And I think when you go outside, represent the country outside, it's just, you just need to be very, very strong. So Deborah was teaching us not only catwalk and choreography, but also just being resilient, understanding yourself, being strong. You most times when you go to pageantry outside the country, you're alone. You don't have anyone. You have different people from different places, so you just need that strong character. And I think Deborah was there to keep us on our toes, just to make sure that we know how to catwalk, we are strong, we have like a very strong heart to endure anything that comes your way. So I think it was just like the best and like inclusive training that we get. Yeah,
because I think it's getting polluted. And one of the things that has motivated me to start this podcast is try and educate the young people who are getting into pageantry and modeling and fashion.
Yeah.
That is not just your look and getting into the catwalk.
Yeah.
You go to a pageant or a fashion show and you find a lady with more than 10 sachets. And you ask them, what do they mean? They're meaningless. They do not know what a boot camp is. So they just came, went into a catwalk that night, changed. And
yeah.
I think we need to talk about this much. Most people, like the audience out there, do not understand this a lot, but still,
true.
It's like 20% of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that brief on what you went through with Miss Earth.
Yeah.
So after Miss Earth, you go.
I went to Miss Tourism in my
yes.
county. Yeah. So I was very much motivated.
Which is your county?
Kakamega
Yes,
County.
yes.
So yeah, it was also a very, very nice experience. Did a boot camp there. I was, I think, top 5 in it. And it brought me just more motivation. For me, I was like, the first one, I was a finalist. The second one, I was top 5. And I knew the next one, I'm going to probably get the crown.
The mathematician, you're calculating.
Yes, I'm
Good.
I just started, and I knew the next one, I will probably get the crown. So after getting to top 5, I was like, wow, I learn where I need to learn. I think so with that, it made me realize what I need to teach myself more, which was public speaking and being in front of a camera for photos. And then that's what I focused on training for my next pageant.
Yeah, so you're doing Miss Tourism, Kakamega.
Yeah.
This now gets you off Nairobi to go
Yeah.
to your rural home. And this was connected with mostly the counties.
Yeah, the county.
I don't see it anymore. I think it was Ms. Kamonge's franchise.
Yeah.
What happened? Are Kakamega still doing it?
They don't do it, and yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because I think it was really tapping into the good brains and people from like deep down the villages. So they don't do it anymore. I've not seen it, so I'm also
I think the last one was Sarah Kiat that was big in 2018.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason I was asking because 2014 I was subcontracted to do Miss Kwale.
Yeah.
Which they spent very good money, and the training that we took them, it was like 1.5 months.
Wow.
I think at that point in time, the governor, who then Mr. Muvuria, who is now the Minister for Sports and Culture, was very keen. Leaky make sure every sub-county is represented.
Amazing.
And I think Kwale is in the border.
Yeah.
So there's a constituency called Lungalunga. Lungalunga is in down, so most of them have never seen catwalk.
Yeah.
So when we got to Lungalunga, we were only able to get 2 girls. The governor said, don't even say the age, just tell any beautiful people to come.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of now, because there was a bit of politics because it's governors.
Yeah.
And Mvure was very tense because Lungalunga was with opposition. That time, Mvure was an ODM and Mashetani was the MP there.
Okay.
Was for opposition. So it's like, if this goes to by parliament, and these guys will say, you see, these guys are taking advantage. So Leaky, make sure you get another 4 because we were taking 4 from each sub-county.
Yeah.
Now the lucky thing, this girl from Lungalunga won the pageant.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, so for him, it was a plus.
Yeah.
Not that we had planned, but it turned that she was a winner.
Like that.
Like I say, it was one of the most pageant that went into Mashinani, and this would have changed the lifestyle of these girls in the rural area.
Yeah, it's really good to see the county government being that keen on pageantry. And again, you mentioning how you had 1.5 months to train them. You know, apparently we don't get a lot of training sometimes. So you tend to be less advantaged than other people, even in our neighboring countries who have like 3 months of training and all that. So I think 1.5 months was really good.
So I think governments, county governments should look into this. Pageantry is a masterpiece and can bring a lot of development in terms of domestic tourism. Countries like Venezuela, Philippines, and most of the South Americans, they dwell on pageantry and make it really so serious. And I think we're at that point where if we start from the grassroots, we'll get good people. For example, the current girl representing Kenya, she's from Mombasa. I've never had a Miss World Kenya from out of the city, which now gives us that motivation that we need to keep driving. So we're really done with Miss Tourism. Your mathematics.
My mathematics took me to another pageantry. And there was this very interesting pageantry called Beauty of Africa International. And I thought, that's amazing because it's within the African countries. And it will be great to try that out. So I did an audition as well in Kakamega. It was also there. And I was also a finalist where we went to a boot camp, very intense as well, learning and learning a lot of things on the way. And so that's when my mathematics won. So I took the crown for Beauty of Africa.
That is 2018, 19?
2019.
Yes.
And wow, it was really amazing. So that was a national crown, and the winner was meant to go to Nigeria to represent their country for the Beauty of Africa pageant. And it was very exciting for me. I think the time my name was called, I was like, oh my God, it was just like a dream come true, because it's been a journey that I've been doing, I think, for the past, since 2015 or 2014 actually, to 2019. So 5 years down the line, I can finally see, I can finally see my work saying They like being shunned.
So you said it's a continental event.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the event held? Kenya? The African?
The Africa one was held in Nigeria.
Yes.
In a very beautiful city in Nigeria called Calabar.
Calabar.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of Calabar. Now, one of the things Africans don't trust their own. I think since 2010, I used to send girls for Miss University Africa, which is also a Nigerian event.
Yeah.
But most of the parents were not sure whether they want their kids to go there. The reputation of Nigeria is messed up out here.
Yeah.
I've been to Nigeria, and some of those people are so welcoming and beautiful people indeed. How was it when your parents heard you're going to contest in Nigeria?
They were also scared, just like any other parent was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, oh, you have to update us, what you're doing from time to time. As much as they were scared, they were very supportive. They knew that is a dream that I've been following and chasing for a better part of my life or my adulthood.
Oh, great. So one of the things that we've had a problem with, a lot of these beauty queens do not have passports by the time they're almost traveling. It becomes very difficult for the franchise owner to try and get, you know, the way Kenya, it's not easy to get a passport. Did you have a passport by the time?
Luckily, I did. I think when I went into pageantry, when you come to understand how it goes, it's really good just to be ready, you know, so that at no point you miss an opportunity because you don't have a passport. So since 2015, I told myself I have to try and get one. Yeah. So I got one in 2018, and then 2019 I got the passport.
A lot of our young contestants have a lot of trouble trying to get not even the visa, just the passport.
The passport, yeah.
What would you advise the government in terms of, you've gone out there, and most of the time I tell my audience, it's not, your name will never appear on that screen. It's usually Kenya. It's not Wanjiko, it's not Atieno, it's not Nafula, but it's Kenya. We're going to represent our country. When you're in trouble going to line up and stuff like that, what would you advise as a person who's been out there and interacted with some of those girls? What would you advise the country to help these girls who represent our country out there?
As you've said, someone is going there as a whole country and not an individual. And I think that's a process that could be fastened so easily because we just need the country to back us up from the documents we need, from even the support of voting and all that. So there's so much that the country needs to completely understand. And this is something that we are all together into, something that we should hold each other's hands. Because as an individual, if you go out, you just need support from your people. And I think we should embrace what other countries are doing, like you've said the South American countries and the Asian countries like Philippines and Vietnam. Like the support you see just motivates someone and they feel not alone. So this is an inclusive and a collective responsibility for all of us, that we should just try and help each other where it comes, like the government to try and support, give the documents. You find even sometimes visa are delayed, and our contestants are arriving in pageants very, very late, which of course it's not advantageous to them. So just having a collective responsibility to help.
I think we have a lot to also push as a pageantry family, where we need to educate the government. I think after June last year, where there's a bit of listening to the Generation Z. So we need to keep pushing to tell them this is exactly what you need to do. A lot of people have not understood how powerful pageantry is. I keep telling my people, you can only compare it with the World Cup and Olympics.
Very true.
Pageantry probably would come first before this, because pageantry is annually. This come 4 or 5 years after. So you're in Nigeria, beautiful country. This time you're out of the country. There is something I keep telling people, pageantry is sisterhood. You get network, you get new sisters, new friends and stuff like that.
Very true.
So you're right there. You're used to your boot camp in Kakamega, your boot camp at Paradise Lost. Now you're in a different country. You say it was so lovely. You're meeting our sisters from our entire Africa with different accents and stuff. How was it?
It was, I think, one of the most beautiful moments in pageantry. Just seeing everyone come, and everyone was so nice, so happy, just wanting to show each other what our country holds. So it's from that moment that I learned so much about all different countries. I didn't know anything about Liberia, Niger. I did not know. But then you're there, you exchange stories, exchange gifts, cultures and everything, and it was just so beautiful. I think just all of us being together in one space with different cultures, and I think our aim goal is to sell our country, to show what our country really has. It's not about a competition after all or anything. So I just realized that Africa is just so beautiful, and from that I was like, I have to visit so many countries in Africa just to see the beauty out of it.
So do you like after that? It's 2019, 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
Are there friends that you kept that you still communicate?
I think almost.
Have you visited any of them?
Almost all of them. So yeah, Namibia. She's like my very, very close friend, and Miss Nigeria, Alice Duke, she's so amazing and precious. We are like really old friends. I think that's what I could say constitutes of more than 70% of my adult friends. I got them through pageantry. So these are my sisters and my friends that we speak together each and every day, share work items, share pageantry tips, and even most of them have still into pageantry and helping people from their country. So we always, at one time, just find each other in the same talk. Or
the countries you mentioned, like Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, they've learned the art of how big pageantry is. I think the current Miss Botswana was in Miss World, and she's now the Minister for Youth and Culture. For me, I think she was even the winner for me if I was a judge at that event. I remember she did very, very great. I was so proud of her as a fellow African, and her sound is so calming and soothing. And once she speaks, I just realized how important pageantry is. And I'm so happy that the country has put her up there, because she was someone who's very, very much interested in supporting and helping. And her as a minister right now, she's even given a bigger platform to just try and support and help pageantry and all inclusivity for sports. I think is she the Minister of Sports? Youth and sports,
youth and sports. So so I'm very actually impressed, and I think I'm really looking forward to a time that also Kenya will follow up the same ideas.
You know, when we're very active in pageantry, and I think after Cecilia Mwangi, with the Jiga campaign, she now works in the Ministry of Trade. So somebody must have spotted her, because I remember she worked very close with the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta. Then government understood. I don't think this government of today understands the pain of the youth. I was just talking to someone last week, and I was like, what happened last year in the revolution? Nobody has got the youth to discuss and say, what is the problem? So such things will change their mind. This girl goes back home and told boss, you put our name in the world map. Take this and bring the youth to. So many youth will want to get involved because they can see a positivity in it. So I think those parents who are at home and thinking, this has been a waste, or the young girls who've gone to this funny pageant and they've been discouraged. Pageant is not bad. You just need to do due diligence and find your cause. Like my guest today is saying, she did her mathematics. You must do your math. You may not win today, you may not win tomorrow, but you'll win a bigger in the third or the fourth. I mean, there are those like you, people win their first pick. But in every competition, there's a winner and a loser, but just that step that you take to win, you're already a winner. So you're in Nigeria, you made very good friends. It's the night of the pageant. How was it? Was it different from what you've seen in the three pageants? Was it the same but different in terms of capacity of planning?
I must say it was a bit different. I think the pageant industry in Nigeria is extremely strong. You could see how people, the room was just so full. And I think we had banners and billboards all over the city. And you just, like, you're the star of the show at that time. And everyone is very much aware that this and this pageantry is happening. And we were able to showcase our CSR activities in front of everyone, and we were able to show what we really can do in front of everyone. And I would say the hall was really, really big. We were like so full, and the support was just massive. We got so many support, and it was amazing because they were not even only cheering for Miss Nigeria alone. We all got cheered. I went there alone, but like when my name is called, I felt at home, and I was like, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that has made Nigeria so powerful, in 2001, they made history as being the first country from Africa to have an African gathering Miss World, Agbani. And the year after, they were meant to do the Miss World to be held in Nigeria, but there was a bit of problems, so the girls had to move. But they did the boot camp in Nigeria. So I think such motivation, like I think to this year, when Namibia is doing the event, it will be bigger than anything else because the person in charge has been there and seen what has happened. It's like now, for example, after you left Nigeria, then you come to Kenya and you're given the post to be in charge of culture and sports. Of course, you want to do it better than they did. The
support there is massive, and also collaboration with designers and photographers. Everyone wants to try and work with like a model to just show how it is. So I think even in Nigeria, once I got there, everyone wants you to wear the clothes, to collaborate with you, to showcase what they have in you. So it's amazing how it's very easy to collaborate, to maneuver when in Nigeria.
Yeah, you've talked about advertising everywhere, the billboards and stuff like that. So I remember I used to do Miss World, and in 2001, we had everyone collaborating. Kiko Romeo was the biggest name. African Heritage was the bigger name. We had billboard all over at the roundabout of Haile Selassie. We had that big balloon, just Miss World, sponsored by Monea. Monea was the biggest billboard company before Magnet Ventures.
Lovely.
We had Daewoo giving us a car for the winner. So the pageant was big then. But something went wrong.
Now, when you're talking like that, I wish to take back time and be here in 2001 just to see Kenya being great.
So exactly. And this is why we're doing this podcast to try and get back what exactly was taken. For example, I don't know whether you know classic molding. Classic molding does the interior. Classic molding came and did for us the stage. It looked like an Egyptian accent. You know those pillars and stuff.
Egyptian decor.
Beautiful. So
that's so good.
That helped us for the 2 years. Everybody wanted to come because they saw what had been done before. So you're being cheered for. How did it go?
It was great, and no sooner I was also called a winner there.
Wow!
Oh my God, I was so surprised, and it was one of the most beautiful moments. I still watch it in YouTube, and I have my young niece now, and I show her every time, and it's just very motivating and beautiful to see. So I was able to now bag the African crown. And after that, I came home with so much motivation that now this can happen. I wanted to tell every person that we really can do it. You know, it's not only in Beauty of Africa, even in Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss International, and all that. So it was an opening, a light opening for me and for most young people as well.
I get to understand this was the first Beauty of Africa International pageant. And you won from Kenya, beat the Nigerians and all Namibian and Liberians. Those guys were there. So most of the time, like Miss Universe, Miss World, when you win, for example, Miss Universe, you go back home and stay. You'll stay in New York. Then before, I think now it's Thailand. And Miss World, you'll stay in London for 1 year. Did you stay in Nigeria for 1 year?
Not 1 year.
Yes.
I stayed there for a couple of weeks.
Mm.
And I had the opportunity to stay there or to come back home and continue my journey here. And I felt like that is a very nice category and nice thing for them to offer me, because I thought, because Nigeria has enough of what it could have, I should come back home and build for us to have more. So I came back after about 6 weeks and started a lot of campaigns. And reaching out to a lot of people, catwalk training sometimes, etc.
Good. So this is 2019. 2020, the world goes on shutdown, and we're not able to do anything physical. Now, for me, I only remember 2 pageants that were able to do their pageants without physical. The big was Miss Earth and Beauty of Africa. The rest were out.
True.
So Beauty of Africa has done the pageant again, and this time Kenya is number 2 to Namibia. And I think because of your influence, 2021, Kenya wins again.
Yes.
So these pageants, is it that we are bringing very strong contenders, or Kenya is just being favored?
I would not say we are being favored.
Yes.
I think the support we get from other organization here in Kenya to start with really it motivates us. We have a strong background, I think, from you people to push us to get to the right space there. And we have strong contenders as well. So it's a pageantry that is carefully chosen in Nairobi. I remember I judged the one for last year, and every single girl was so nice. And the training is very inclusive. We said from baby training, then catwalk, etiquette, and everything. So I think all ladies are always very ready. So the preparation we get from the country is what makes us shine when we go outside the country.
Great. So this you're planning bigger. It's on the 30th of October.
Oh, lovely.
Last year it was meant to be last year December, but it was done in January in Ethiopia. The year before was Ghana. The last 3 years was Nigeria. So one of the things that maybe you would advise, we are starting our audition campaign very soon. What would you advise that young girl who want to join Beauty of Africa International Pageant 25-26?
Go for it. Prepare and go for it. And it's something that any single person who's prepared, ready to learn, can get. And it's a very beautiful experience because of the platform it gives you. So I will tell anyone not to be afraid, not to think, oh, easy. Just go for it. Do your research well, prepare, talk to the previous queens. And all of us are very available and ready. And I'm here, Mesri is there, Terian is there, and you can really speak to them. And I know they have so many insights to give out. So preparation is key, and going for it. That's the only thing I would advise.
Great. So like you've heard, it's a beautiful pageant. She's been in it. Not to brag about it, this is one of the few pageants that girls go out of boot camp out of Nairobi. I know Miss Earth did it in Nairobi last year. Miss Universe did it in Nairobi. Miss World as a day scholar. As we did Mombasa. In fact, Watamu. Everybody's dream is to go to Watamu. We did the other boot camp for the same year in the 8th one of the world, which is Masai Mara. So if you want to enjoy and have fun, this is the only pageant that will give you that opportunity to be there. So find where registration is being done. This year we want to do auditions in 4 towns. So just put your ear on the ground and be part of it.
I saw the girls in Masai Mara running in the morning, and I was like, I don't know if I should go back because it just looked so beautiful with the nature around them.
We want to see, maybe this goes to Madam Miano, the Minister for Tourism. If we're able to do the event maybe in 2026, 27 at the Masai Mara during the immigration, to just market that domestic and international pageant, that there are beautiful girls from Africa walking across this would attract the international
That
media
will
and
be
stuff like that.
beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
Madam, let's plan for this,
True.
and I know it will be workable because we've
Yeah.
done a boot camp there, so anything is possible.
Anything is
Yes.
possible, yeah.
So you're done, you've won the pageant, you've conquered the continent.
Yeah.
Now you've decided, like you said, you calculate very well.
Exactly.
Now you've gone for international pageant, Miss International,
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
Tell us your experience
Oh,
this time.
so yeah, after doing Beauty of Africa, going to the big three, also it was very scaring. The Miss International is the third biggest pageant, and it's held in Japan, Japanese. So I was so scared. Of course, Japan is miles away and all that, and
you know how to use the sticks?
I learned. I had to teach myself YouTube again. I put it in front, and it really helped because I think I would say 80% of the meals there, they give you the chopsticks.
In 2005, I sent a lady to China for pageants. She called me after the second day and says, Licky, I can't do it anymore. I want to come back home. I don't understand this food.
It's not easy. Yeah. So I learned. I took like 3 weeks, taught myself, and eventually, so it's something quite easy. So I prepared very well for Miss International. And finally got to Japan. It was also a very, very beautiful moment. I got the most kindest and nicest roommate, Miss Thailand, called Tavi, yeah. And every single day in Japan was just a miracle. The place is so beautiful with very many beautiful souls around.
Where were you guys in Japan?
Tokyo. So we went to Tokyo, but we had to Fukushima, where there was the earthquake in 2011.
Yes.
We visited the plant where it all happened. We went to Hiroshima, nice city. It
Atomic
has a lot
bomb.
of lemons, I think. So
is that the memory of the bomb, the atomic bomb?
Yeah, Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yes.
So we visited that, and it was nice. I went to Kyoto, I went to Osaka, and we used to go everywhere else. The experience was so nice. Japanese people are really friendly and it actually made me realize, gosh, are we doing it the right way? Because they are so kind and so friendly, so polite. And I learned so much from the pageant.
Yeah. I read a lot of history, and I think after the Hiroshima Nagasaki, it changed the whole mindset of how humanity is.
Yeah.
So you're in all around Japan, because the cities you've talked about, I read them probably the manufacturers of Toyota, what happens here and stuff like that. So sometimes people think a pageant is just a catwalk. What you're saying, apart from just going to the catwalk, you're learning history, you're learning new stuff.
Yeah, so
I keep telling people, for you to be able to understand the difference between our country, you must step out and see what's happening out here. The first time I went out of the country, I think I was in Uganda, not out to my neighboring village, and I felt, boss, we are way, way beyond. Everybody complains about what we have. Then I went to Tanzania, I was like, oh my goodness, so we're in heaven.
I know.
And gone to Nigeria, and I was in Lagos, and some things didn't look right the way Nigerian feel. It's so big. When you go to Lagos, you want to come back home. So
it's quite fast.
Now you've traveled. This time you're not meeting just your African sisters. They're Asians, they're Americans, everyone is there. How was it? There's this narrative that our color is different and these guys will look at us differently. Was there that when you went to the pageant?
Not at all. I think everyone was just very kind to each other. And we were like more or less just sisterhood. And I think that's what pageantry brings in people. And as I mentioned, being in Japan, how you see people being kind, you can't even try to be unkind. They
Yes,
say when
yes.
you go to Rome, do what
Do
the
what Romans
Romans do.
Yes.
And I think everyone brought their A game. Everyone was extremely kind. And I, some people, probably Japanese, when you walk in the streets, they've never seen black color.
Yes, yes.
So you'll see children still coming to pinch
Yeah,
you,
the celeb.
asking. Yeah, so it was nice, but it was just a moment of learning for them as well. So just coming to watch you, look at how you look and all that. So it was quite good. It was interesting. Connecting with people was really great, and all the girls were amazing. Yeah, I did not experience any kind of racism. Neither did my African sisters experience any.
Great.
Yeah.
So I know Miss World was the first pageant in terms of to be founded in 1951 by Eric Morley.
Yes.
Then the American copied and started Miss Universe. And 10 years, 1960, the Japanese.
Yes, Japanese.
And when you look at around that, these were the superpowers during the Second World War.
Yeah.
And there's just a connection between the pageantry. Now, the different ways we look at it, Miss World, Miss Universe is more of giving and charity. International looks more of culture and more fashion.
Exactly.
How was it?
So yeah, we really needed to showcase our culture, and even we had a national costume competition, and that we were asked just to show really what you want to be seen from your country.
Yes.
So it's more of a cultural, polite pageant, and more laid back than what I would say Miss Universe but Miss World has, but it has a lot of teaching, and it's I think we learned most of the Japanese culture while there, so it's more of teaching and just culture and learning. And we also showed them a lot because just we had a time to storytell about our country, to tell them how it is and what it is. Yeah, so it was quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've not gotten any Africa win, Miss International since 1960. So I'm just always looking out, and I hope
one day.
I hope one day a Kenyan or an African sister will do.
Yeah, I think it's just like Miss World, where it took 51 years for Agbani to win the pageant.
Yeah.
I think like in Miss International 2010 or 11, the Kenyan girl was a runners-up. Soon, or very soon, we hope we'll have a winner. I think the African, for example, when you go for Miss World, you find 20 Asian countries.
Yes.
How many European countries?
Yeah,
but you find 6 or 8 of our sisters. Any of these pageants like business. So if Africa is not supporting us, what will happen?
Yeah.
If Namibia had, like the year before Namibia, the girl from Ivory Coast was just outstanding.
Wow.
So imagine they were in the same pageant, same year. There would have been a competition among themselves, so it pushes the other guys. You can imagine Philippines is strong, India is strong, Venezuela, Vietnam is strong. So those are 3 Asian countries that the competition, people don't even know who among them will win. So I think we need to reach at that point where Africa is competing among Africa, and we're able to be given the opportunity and really ripe for the contest.
Very true.
But hopefully I'm seeing Africa increasing in terms of numbers going for the pageant. Like Miss World, I think this year there are almost 20 of them.
Oh, that's
which
really,
is good, almost half the continent.
Yeah.
So I think, like I've worked with some Japanese, their humility, the way they love their culture, I think it reflects in the pageant.
Yes.
So you're back home. The same thing I've asked you about the beauty of Africa. Do you still have some friends, not just from Africa, from around the world that you still talk to?
Yes. My roommate is still very, very close to me.
Yes.
Tavi, and we speak so much, and I have very many friends from there.
Yes.
Miss Lao, Miss Nigeria again, Namibia, most of my African sisters. Miss Togo, we are just very close, and like most of my adulthood friends are just from pageantry. It creates so many memories. We tend to even work together at some point, create projects, and just think what we can actually do to make Africa better and even
because I remember last year Miss Namibia visited.
She did.
And she remembers the memory of your friendship.
Yeah.
So there are things that you've done that are memorable in your pageant journey.
Yeah.
Could you just mention 2 or 3 of them?
I think my most memorable one is supporting the kids at Glad Kids. And they're still very close to my heart. We are planning another event, yeah? So just supporting them with teaching and providing them basic needs whenever they need is most of my memorable moments. And luckily, what you're speaking about, Miss Namibia Jane does last year.
Last year, yes, was beautiful.
It was really good to see that through. And for me, education is really key in my heart. So I tend to support anything in education, either by voluntary teaching or by educating someone, paying school fees for someone. So I'm very more inclined to giving everyone an equal opportunity to get skills and to learn with every other person. So when it comes to education, that's what I do.
We're grateful as an organization like Bazooka for just supporting us, also coming with us to grandkids. Like the most important, the education part where you go and give them some tuition for mathematics. And I've talked to the principal there before and says after you came, their marks have gone up in terms of their performance during their class 8 or grade 6 performance. So we are grateful.
Yeah, they got I think the top student last year got an A in mathematics, and it was amazing. It was a very happy moment for
Congratulations, teacher. So one of the memories that I remember, you were out in London, courtesy of pageantry with the doctors from Africa.
Yes.
How was that?
Wow, I was in a room full of doctors and very senior people. I was in a space that I never thought I could get. So I attended the UK East African Health Summit in London, and it was very, very impressive and great. And actually the topic was about vaccines for diseases such as malaria, which affects us home, like directly. It was very, very interesting to just listen to how also doctors come in together to try and help such diseases which kills most of the young children here. So I really learned a lot, and it was an experience that I never thought I would get there, but pageantry got me there, and I learned so much just coming to solve world problems together with people. Yeah.
So what's the most important lesson you've learned, not just in pageantry, in the long, short life that you've lived?
I think my most important lesson will be just living in kindness and motivating and supporting people. I really just learned how important everyone is in your life, and how important it is to be close to everyone and try and support each other. So I think I left pageantry with that lesson, and all these stories of mental health and what, just learning that one form of kindness can support it all, when most human beings showcase that. So humility and kindness is one thing I drive through my life with, and I live with it, and I've learned, and I spread out there.
Great. So before you leave, a lot of models will hear Cindy, Sandy, they're excited, they feel you, they think you're one of the most humble queen they've come across. Most of them have not met you, but through your talks or social media, they feel they want to meet you. So other camera, just advice. Anyone who wants to become a model, the parents, government, just give us a word.
Yeah, I think for the parent, I would say modeling is something much more than we see out there, and trying to see even this podcast, Sash and Style, will probably help you understand much better of what it is. It's more of a form of compassion. It's chasing dreams in the right way to just be able to help the world. It always comes to that, either through environment, through any single thing. So it's something very, very proud and beautiful to allow a child to be in. And for all models, it takes sometimes, but that does not mean that that's all. So I think resilience is the most important thing to be. I always watch quotes from Dishauna Baba, and she's one of my favorite queens.
Oh, yeah.
And she lost 7 times before becoming Miss America, and then eventually top 5 in Miss Universe. And when you see her speak, you just realize, oh, it's not a denial, it's just redirecting. And even with my own story, I started with 2 more pageants before I got one that fits me in. So please push on, and it will all work out.
Wow, that was so beautiful. And thank you so much for coming to the studio. It's always
Thank you.
a pleasure
Happy to chat with you.
being around you and just the motivation.
Yeah.
You've challenged me. We need to go back to our daily routine of running and walking during COVID.
Yes, you are very
I'm
fit
on
then.
for the challenge.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm
soonest.
excited.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Okay.
So again, this is episode 13 of Session Style. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. If you have a friend, a sister, a cousin, a parent that want to learn more about
Yes.
pageantry fashion, just ask them to subscribe. Let's move this to masses. We want Kenya to be at that place where we are the Philippines of Africa. I know South Africa, Nigeria, Botswana, Angola are big in pageantry. We want to be in that space.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for viewing us. See you on Wednesday again. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I want you to... Ni camera.